Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the news desk here on ineedcomics.com, part of the Pop Culture Network. Now, there's some really wacky stuff happening in the world of comic book news this past week, and most of it comes from DC. In fact, the number one thing people seem to be talking about online is DC's new logo. Now, this logo has not officially gone into production yet, but DC did apply for a trademark on the new logo, which people are calling the Peel logo. Now, a few years ago, of course, they switched to that swirl logo, and most people said, why are they changing it? They don't need to change it. This seems crazy to change it. And then they changed it, and everybody said after a while, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. So now the new one has come out. Right now, just black and white photos are available. However, some people have taken to colorizing them so you can get an idea of what they might look like. But this logo, they're calling the Peel logo online. Basically, trademarked for DC Entertainment and DC Comics. The idea being that they would need to use it sometime in the next 3 years on a piece of licensed merchandise or in a published work in order to, keep the trademark alive or relevant or whatever to start using it. Doesn't mean they will. They very well could abandon this at some point. They may only use it in foreign markets. They may only use it on certain licensed goods. But for right now, it looks like DC has a new logo. Now, of course, that's not the only news from DC. Some of the other big stories coming out this week having to do with DC are, of course, the 6 titles that they've canceled and the 6 new ones that they announced. Now, if you read the original press release, the first thing it mentioned were the new titles coming out, and then quietly tucked away at the bottom, it mentioned the 6 canceled books. So, for those of you who are currently reading Black Hawks, Hawk and Dove, Men of War, Mr. Terrific, OMAC, and Static Shock, well, I'm sorry, but your books have been canceled. They are being replaced by 6 new books, starting with Batman Incorporated. This one, of course, coming over from the old DC universe. They are still running with that whole Incorporated storyline. Earth 2, which is apparently, I guess, the multiverse has come back to the DC universe. This one centered around the Justice Society. World's Finest, which will be Huntress and Power Girl trying to find their way back to Earth 2. So no idea if there's going to be some sort of mini crisis in the new DC universe that brings them over. And it's interesting to note, there is already a Huntress in this universe. Is she supposed to be on the Earth 2? Will there be a second Huntress? We'll just have to tune in and find out. Dial H, which of course is based off the old Dial H for Hero, which was revived in the early 2000s in a fantastic storyline. So I hope this one can live up to that. GI Combat, obviously taking the place of Men of War, starting out with War That Time Forgot and Unknown Soldier and Haunted Tank. So those properties. So Sergeant Rock going away, these new properties coming in. Of course, it's a war book replacing another war book, so we may see Rock reappear at some point in the future. And the Ravagers, which will be spinning out of Superboy and Teen Titans that apparently will have Static Shock in the title somehow or another. So those of you who are sad to see Static Shock go, at least it looks like he will have an outlet to continue in the new DC universe. Now, the other big DC news that happened this week is that the CW network, best known for Smallville, did announce that they are working on a pilot of Green Arrow. Now, as of yet, it has not been said if this is going to be the same character from Smallville or if they're starting over from scratch, but this will not be based on the comic book continuity, either the old DC universe or the new DC universe. So, whether or not this spins off from the appearances he made in Smallville, we will just have to wait and see. Dynamite announced they are bringing back the Shadow in a new ongoing series. So those of you hoping for a 6 or 12 issue series, unfortunately it is going to be ongoing. So whether or not you're going to commit, that's up to you. Let's see. Next up we have Dark Horse announcing that Conan and Gru are going to be crossing over. This one, many people have been waiting for a long time, hoping they were going to see these characters together. And here you are going to see it. It looks like it's going to be a mini-series of 4 issues. So that one looks like it will be a lot of fun and something worth looking forward to. Now, last week we talked about Valiant and their return to the comic book market, and now we've got a little glimpse of something else. We don't know exactly which characters completely will be reappearing, but we do have this piece of artwork that has been snuck out by an anonymous Valiant employee who's been running a blog, sneaking out little bits of information here and there, trying to get people excited. And we do have this piece of artwork of Bloodshot. Now, Bloodshot in the Valiant universe was actually a pretty kick-ass character and one that is well-loved by fans. So, this is a sign that he will be one of the new series of the new Valiant universe. Also, on this blog, it's worth noting that whoever is leaking out the information leaked out part of a, looks like a logo for a Harbinger book. So Harbinger, of course, tying into Valiant universe. It was the key title that kicked off the Valiant universe in the common era, the present era, as opposed to Magnus Robot Fighter in the future. So Harbinger making a return, and now this artwork of Bloodshot sneaking out. Well, that's going to do it for the news for this week. Of course, if you have a story you want to see covered, email it to me, dirt@popculturenetwork.com, or you can leave us a voicemail. It's area code 217-953-4025. And you can also come to ineedcomics.com, join the Pop Culture Network forums, and talk with everybody else about comics. Now, here's a look at some of the books coming out this week. This week, Spider-Man is Amazing, Avenging, and Ultimate. Though fans of Amazing, who read the last issue and want to know what happened with the Black Cat, are going to have to check out this week's Daredevil to get the rest of that story. There's a slew of X-Men books for all you X-fans out there. 2 of them branded as Regenesis and 2 of them not. So figure that one out for yourself. Some other big hitters from Marvel: The Invincible Iron Man, The Avengers, Venom, and Moon Knight. DC, on the other hand, has a slew of Bat books, including, for the first time ever, Batman bagged in a combo pack with a digital download code for Comixology. Also, female fans of the DC Universe are going to get Supergirl, Wonder Woman, and Birds of Prey all in one week. Dynamite's hitting us with Lord of the Jungle #1, 4 covers, $1 a piece, the uncensored history of Tarzan. And, of course, fan favorite Voltron for all you Voltron fans. Other properties getting comics this week include IDW's Cobra, Ghostbusters, and Star Trek, continuing the adaptations of the original series episodes with the new movie crew. And from Aspen, you're getting Charismagic and Dead Man's Run, both series that have gotten great reviews. There are plenty of other comics coming out this week. Make sure you check shoppcn.com to order your favorites. And finally, folks, one last thing to point out here on this news desk, and that is that February 29th is Tron Day! That's right, Tron Day, the final day of February this year. It's a day for you to tweet about Tron, talk about Tron, post pictures about Tron, talk about how Tron saved your life and how you love Tron. February 29th, Tron Day. Don't forget it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.